Hello, it is Saturday the 9th of December, and in this video I'm going to look at the latest Lotto result, and I'm going to analyse in what ways the winning numbers were the most outstanding, and I'm going to try and predict the outcome of tonight's draw, what it will be based on what I can find in this video. Now, this is a chart summarising the full draw history, looking at all machines and all sets of balls, and we can only see the low frequency end of the chart because the rest of the numbers are way over there on the right. If I flip it round horizontally, you can see that's where they are. So this is the most frequent end, and this is numbers 1 to 49. And if we flip it the other way, this is now the least frequent end, and we've got numbers 50 through 59. Now, if we just look at this section of the chart, you can see that 52 is the most overdue for its frequency, but only out of the 10 more recently added numbers. Now, if we look at just the recent history since those numbers were added, now you can see 52 is actually on the edge of the chart for all the numbers put together on this chart. Now, the current trend was sets 1 to 4 and machines Lancelot and Guinevere. Before that it was sets of balls 5, 6, 7 and 8, but in the most recent draw, 2, 2, 9, 1, it chose to use set of balls number 6. So maybe that's just a one-off, like this one-off down here. Let me just find it. Where are we? Okay, see what happened here? They were using sets 5, 6, 7 and 8, and then they switched to 1 to 4, jumped back up to 8, and then carried on with 1 to 4. And then they stuck with 1 to 4 for quite a while. Then they changed to 5, 6, 7 and 8, back to 1 to 4, jumped up to 6, and then went back to 1 to 4 again. And so maybe they're just going to stay with sets 5, 6, 7 and 8 for a while, or it might just be a one-off. I don't know. So I don't know what's going on now. But anyway, in this draw I predicted 2 numbers, but I didn't mention it in my video because in the numbers that I predicted, I used my parapsychological method, which is something I'm not going to go into in this video. It's a bit complicated and I can't really show you on this chart or anything. So basically what you do is, for each number you choose an object, you make a list of objects and number them. You put all the objects in a box, you go to sleep and you look for the objects in your dream, and you write your dreams down, and when you wake up you write them down and see if any of the objects occurred in your dream or in any of your dreams, and if they did, then you pick those numbers, the numbers that correspond to the objects. And then after the draw takes place, you must take the 6 objects that correspond to the 6 winning numbers out of the box and place them in front of you and examine the objects. And the idea is that when you examine the objects, you recreate the scene from your dream in which you dreamt the objects. And the idea is that if you set yourself the task of actually doing that in the future when the numbers are drawn, then you will see the objects in advance. Objects are a lot easier to predict than numbers. So this is just the recent history. So you can see 52 is most outstanding on that chart. And if we just look at a chart for the two machines that are used in the current trend, we get this chart. And if we look at numbers paired with 52 on that chart, it's very small. Now, the set of balls that we used was set of balls number 6. So if we look at a chart just for that set of balls, you can see 52 is most frequent. And if we look at full draw history, and this is just numbers that have occurred from set of balls number 6. And if we just look at just the two machines that are using the current trend, you see none of the numbers were most outstanding, not really. I've looked at all these charts for these numbers already, and I didn't find any ways in which any of them were most outstanding at all. So I think it's probably because by suddenly switching to set of balls number 6, it's like they've thrown us a curveball. You know, they made it impossible to predict the outcomes. Now, at least on the chart for number 3, you can see 19, second most frequent. On the chart for 19, 3, second most frequent. And chart for 24, see, none of them are outstanding. So pretty much impossible to predict the outcome unless you've got psychic abilities, in which case if you did it the way I did it, I only got 2 numbers, so I basically won a lucky dip and that's it, that's all I got. So I'm going to make a little prediction. Now looking at this chart, we've got 5 is the most overdue, 54 is the most frequent, number 10 most overdue for its frequency. No, actually 34 nearest to top right, 34 most overdue for its frequency. So let's predict. In fact, let's just narrow it down to the 2 machines that are being used. Now you can see 10's most overdue for its frequency. So let's pick number 10. And then if we're having number 10, see 54 is most frequent with that. In fact, let's look at the full draw history. second numbers paired with number 10. And see what we can find. So let's have 24 because it's most overdue with number 10. And if we're having 24, then I think I'm going. If we're having 10 and 24, I'm going to pick 40 and 5. And also 34 is on the edge of that chart as well, so 34. Now if we look at the chart for 34, I think I'll have 54 because we've got to have at least one of those numbers. So that's going to be my prediction then for tonight's draw. And that concludes this video. Subscribe for the next one. Good luck in tonight's draw, and bye for now.